those of you that are long-time channel subscribers, you know that I am something of a Steve Perry nut. And because I am a Steve Perry nut, there are a few folks out there with their own channels that I have ended up following, and I am so excited to have as a guest today Gary Stuckey. He has a channel that focuses on Steve Perry, and he also has a podcast I listen to, Real Music with Gary Stuckey. So anyway, Gary, welcome. So happy to have you here.
Hello, Dave. It's nice to finally talk to you face to face. I've been following you for years now and listening to you, but yeah, it's good to talk face to face. How are you?
Very, very good today. And how are you doing in the middle of lockdown?
Good. I'm doing really good. I'm not too shabby, considering.
Good, yeah, all things considered. So what we thought we'd do, anybody that goes to YouTube, and if you watch any music videos, YouTube tends to serve up these. Right now they're serving up lockdown videos, music videos, where famous artists are doing lockdown, quarantine versions of their songs as a way of kind of inspiring and keeping everybody's spirits up. So we thought we would kind of walk through our top 5 lists. And fair warning, we're not going to get through all of the top 5 here. We'll get through about half of the list on this video, and then I'm going to point you guys over to Gary's channel. Gary, what is the name of your official channel here on YouTube?
It's just Gary Stuckey. You can look up Gary Stuckey, but I call it Steve Perry News. But that's not the title. But Gary Stuckey, just look me up and you can find out.
That's where the video will be. Just like my channel's Dave Sundstrom, yours is Gary Stuckey. Awesome.
That's right.
Okay, so I'll start and share my number 5. One that I've really loved watching, and I've watched it a handful of times now, is Kurt Smith from Tears for Fears and his daughter Diva. She's a teenage girl doing a rendition of Mad World. I was a huge Tears for Fears fan in the 80s. Loved their music, loved this song just as much as some of the, the Everybody Wants to Rule the World, those songs, you hear them on the radio all the time, but Mad World is such a great song, and to hear the two of them play it, she's playing guitar as well. They're doing a duet on guitar, and she's providing backing vocals to Kurt singing. It's just really awesome. And a lot of these songs that we're going to be talking about, I think, they're kind of lyrically, they're really appropriate for what's going on right now.
Right. That's a great job by them, and what a band. When you think of your favorite bands from the 80s, and Tears for Fears, it's good to hear them still around. You think, where did they go? And then one day they pop up in a time like this, and they pop up, and you're like, wow, they still got it. And then they invite their kids or somebody, and it's really cool. That's a good choice song, by the way. I guess I could do mine, right?
Yeah.
Number 5. My selection is John Bon Jovi. When you can't do what you do what you can. And he wrote a song, and he invited fans to come on there from Instagram and Twitter, Facebook. He invited fans to write their own lyrics. So he wrote some lyrics, and then he would use some fans' lyrics. I submitted some. He didn't. I don't think he used mine, but he used a lot of fans, and it was really cool. He did like a version, and you can go check it out on YouTube, I think, and on his Facebook page, things like that. But really cool for people that are going through different trials. If you can't do what you do, you can do what you can, and you can be positive and help people out during this time. So that's very cool to hear from John Bon Jovi.
That's awesome. Very inspirational person, just the things that he's not only doing right now during these troubling times, but also just I've heard about some of the work that he does in terms of feeding those that are the homeless. I think his wife has a big hand in that as well, inspiring him to do good. But that's awesome. I'm going to check this out, check that song out right after we get done with this. So excited to hear. Sorry they didn't hear your lyrics, Gary.
Hey, maybe next time. Maybe he'll, maybe watch this video.
Yeah, part 2.
You never know. That's right.
All right. Our number 4, we both had the same song in our number 4 slot. Do you want to go ahead and share it?
Okay, I will do it. Number 4, and of course, growing up a Kiss fan, besides a Journey fan, we'll get
Yeah.
to that. But Kiss, one of my favorite bands of all time, and back in I think it was 1996, they got back together for a reunion with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. Right, and I was there in
As
Pensacola
was I, my
to
friend.
watch those guys. So cool. And another group, Journey, got back together the same year. I was really happy. But Paul Stanley, with his song "Every Time I Look at You" from the Revenge album, right from 1992, I think he did it over on YouTube uh, from his house or something like that, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. Good job. He still got it. I know some people say, he uses recordings during the concert. He doesn't still have it. Well, he proved to me he still got it with that video, so
Oh,
you can check
yeah.
it out for yourself.
One of the great all-time rock and roll singers, Paul Stanley, for sure. And I love those videos that he's doing. It's awesome because he's playing some songs and he's also telling stories, just kind of like, hey, come on over to Paul's house. We're gonna ride this quarantine out together, and he's gonna tell stories from the good old days. So it's a lot of fun. He does a great job.
Yes, he does.
Number 3 for me would be another great singer in my mind, Sammy Hagar. I think he's one
Oh, yeah.
of the all-time great rock and roll singers, and it's amazing. The guy, much like Paul, they're both in their 70s, I believe, and they just keep rocking.
Yes.
And Sammy and his current band, The Circle, for the last 4 weeks, they've been releasing these videos where the drummer, who is Jason Bonham, son of John, I believe, starts
Right.
out and he does the drum track, and he sends it on over to Vic. I can't remember Vic's name right now, but Vic, the guitarist in the Circle.
Johnson.
Vic Johnson, right?
Johnson. Mm-hmm.
Sends it over to Vic, and Vic adds in the guitar, and then ultimately they send the same track over to I think they're Instagram tracks. They send them over to Sammy and Michael Anthony, and they add in their pieces. And they've done some really fun ones. They've done "Won't Get Fooled Again" by The Who. They did an original. They did a Bob Marley track. But the one that I loved was "Good Enough," which is off of the 5150 album, the first Van Halen album
Yeah.
that Sammy sang on. And it pops. It's a wonderful, wonderful song. In the video, they're playing these Instagram videos together, and it's just so much fun to see it, and there's so much raw energy there. It's one of the best versions of Good Enough that I've ever heard.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If I should make a little note, that would probably tie for one of mine. That was a really awesome
Yeah,
job that they did. It's almost like, if you can't have Van Halen around, you can still have the second best thing. It looks like this band is really close and really good job and talented. But my number 3 is my old girlfriend. Not just kidding. Uh, Debbie Gibson. Hey, right.
she
Don't
was
tell her.
everyone's old girlfriend. We all loved Debbie in the
That's right.
80s.
Exactly right. Who didn't love Debbie Gibson? And her song, she did a cover of her own song, uh, an updated version of "Lost in Your Eyes." She did it over on Instagram, and I think she may have shared it on some other social media sites like Twitter or something. But she still got it. I mean, she's not that little teeny bopper girl. She's all grown up, and I
Right.
think she turns 50 this year. So she's not a teenager anymore, but she still got it. And it's a great song. Number 1 song back in 1989.
Yeah.
Man, has it been that long?
Magical times. 89 was a great year.
It was a good year.
Yep.
Bring them back. Bring those years back. We
Yeah.
need to have new years like that, new memories. We can do it.
Absolutely. Did you tell me earlier that Debbie follows you on Twitter?
She does. She follows me on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's only
Uh,
fair, as long as we're bragging a little bit. I got to brag about the fact that you seem to be very
right.
close personal friends with Martha Quinn on Twitter as well.
This is true. Yeah, give a shout out to Martha. She was on Twitter, and we were talking about Steve Perry a few years ago, and we got involved talking to her, you know. And then when I first started doing my Steve Perry videos, I got to researching some things and just noticed how Martha showed up with Steve, you know, one day when Steve was, you know, he was sad because his girlfriend Kelly had just passed away, and he was in the park, and then he runs into Martha Quinn, and she really had this positive energy and just really helped him out. And I thought, wow, what a friend, right?
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
I told Martha, I'm like, you know, you're like the queen, you know, you really helped Steve out. Why don't you become the queen of the Steve Perry movement, you know? And she thought it was this big deal. I thought, I'm just a peon, you know, who am I, right? And she does an article and posts it, you know, and I'm thinking, whoa. So after that, she became my friend, and I really think she's just very positive. She was on Facebook today, always positive and always, you know, giving hope. And she always says, don't stop believing to everybody. But yeah, what a awesome lady and a talented
Oh
uh,
yeah,
person. I mean, you know,
yeah.
good personality. So
I'm a big fan
there
of
you
Ms.
go.
Quinn, and I was watching a Facebook Live just a couple weeks ago where she again gave a shout out to you and talked about your positivity and that you always encourage folks to never stop believing, which is phenomenal. So I think this is probably a good place, Gary, for us to stop, and we will do the remainder of our countdown over on your channel in a part 2 of this video. And Davida, Sandra, Patricia, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what you ladies are doing on Facebook as part of the Steve Perry Legacy Facebook group as well. So I think this is a great place to end it here. I will say to my channel viewers, please follow us on over. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And but most importantly, always most importantly, thank you so much for watching.